Jim, I will have you first talk about what we're talking about today. So your family is in support of Rowan's Act. Can you explain why?
Yeah, I mean, I reached out to Brandy when this had first happened because seeing it unfold in the news, there was so many similarities, but also some differences in their case. And one of them that really stuck out to me was the issues they had in even reporting Rowan missing. And that's really something very, very common. It's very difficult, depending on where you are in this country, to report somebody missing. And so seeing legislation and Rowan's Act come up where they're looking to enhance and making it easier for law enforcement to use their discretion on a case-by-case basis to get these alerts out there, which can potentially bring in more resources, is really important.
Yeah, and also talk about how important time is.
Timing in a missing persons case is everything. And there's a lot of misinformation out there that you have to wait 24 hours or 48 hours before you report somebody missing. And that's not true. The moment you realize that something isn't right, and a parent, a mother especially, is going to know when something's not right with their child, no matter what age they are. You get that reported as soon as you can because time is valuable, and the longer it goes, the harder it can be to locate them, or it becomes more complicated.
And Gabby is an adult, so Amber Alert did not apply to her, but you said it was difficult to issue any alert, to have her apply for anything to get it out there.
Yeah, alerting systems are different from state to state. Some have more, some don't have any other than the Amber Alert system. The Amber Alert is really the only federally recognized alerting system for endangered children. Um, but it was really just difficult because she was an adult. She was traveling where we had last seen her in person, where we last knew her to be. So we were kind of like a ping pong ball getting bounced back and forth. And finally, my wife went into our local police department in New York on Long Island and basically threw herself at the floor in front of a detective. And she was the one who got the ball rolling, had a wellness check done down in Florida, and that's when they found the van and they found that he was there and she was not. And then from there, she was officially reported a missing person. But that took our family a couple days to get rolling.
So you feel like there's not enough resources right now, not only for children, but also adults when there is a missing person.
The resources they vary from state to state. Some areas are really rich with resources, and some of them don't have very much. You know, they're doing these agencies are doing the best they can with what they have. But the more attention that we can bring to these missing persons cases sooner, the better chances we are of finding them and bringing them home. And it's really important.
Yeah. And talk about it must have been so frustrating trying to get the word out when it came to Gabby. You know, you just said that your wife threw herself the floor to try to get attention on that. So really hit on that.
Yeah, it was really frustrating all around for our family between Gabby's dad trying to make phone calls, my wife making phone calls. It was really frustrating because you know something's not right, but you're kind of stuck in these different policies or procedures in different parts of the country and getting bounced around. And we're grateful for the detective in New York on Long Island who took that took the story, took the case, and really pursued it. And I don't know if she didn't do that in the time frame that she did, I don't know if we would have ever found her.
Yeah. And then talk more about Rowan's Act. You know, there's so much that this seeks to do. Um, why is your family so passionate? Why are you guys standing behind this?
So our foundation works in two different facets. One is missing persons, trying to elevate and bring attention to those cases and support to missing persons organizations. It's also we work in domestic violence prevention and education, and Rowan's case kind of touches both of those. And he wasn't eligible for an Amber Alert because he was with his father at the time, and the circumstances didn't allow it. So Rowan's Act just modifying and updating that alerting system to give law enforcement the discretion they need when certain circumstances are presented to them, allowing them to issue that alert and getting that out because that goes out statewide immediately. And now you have all different resources looking at that. And so it's really important, and it's something that we should really be looking at nationwide. A lot of states have their own independent alert systems that work very well that have kind of been based off of Amber Alert and expanded from there. And this is really something that we should look at, especially for children, on trying to improve.
Yeah. And Gabby was found within 11 days. But do you think if the word was able to get out there quicker, that you would have been able to find her quicker?
There's a possibility that we would have been able to find her a little bit sooner. Um, the law enforcement agencies out there, the FBI, they were amazing. So as soon as they got the missing persons case dropped on them, and I mean, social media and news coverage really took off on it, and that certainly helped too. But the minute they got it, they worked tirelessly and they poured a lot of resources into it, and we were able to locate her. Um, if it went out sooner, could we have found her sooner? That's a possibility too. My concern was more if we didn't get her officially reported missing, if we would have found her.
Yeah. And of course, I have to ask, what has this been like for your family, not having her in your life?
Oh, the same as Brandy and her family. It's nothing can you can do can ever bring them back. Time does not heal wounds. There's really no such thing as closure. Grief changes over time. There's not a day that goes by that you don't think of your loved one. And much like Brandy and her family, our family is dedicated to preventing this from happening to others and advocating as much as we can. And that really gives us the strength to keep going forward and gives it purpose behind the tragedy to try to help others. And it's a way to really channel that grief and put it towards helping others. I think they guide us from beyond. They're the ones that give us the strength.
What do you miss the most about Gabby?
Oh, I miss so much about her. It's just her smile, just her bubbly personality, her creativeness, all of that. She was just awesome. And she was such a good big sister to all of her siblings, and just that she was certainly robbed of that extra time with them in their lives, probably when they needed her the most.
Yeah, and I've watched the documentary and stuff. I mean, that's got to be so hard when something like this happens and it's completely out of your control.
Yeah, absolutely. To have these things unfold, and they happen every day to people, and to see it unfold every day on national TV, it just is surreal. And it still doesn't seem like it was real. It seems like it was all just a bad dream, but it's a reality that we're faced with, and so many other families are faced with. And really, that's why, for me, it was important to reach out to Brandy and her family, seeing as though they're coming up on 1 year, and knowing, what that looked like, and just trying to help support them too. Just reaching out to other families. This is a club that nobody wants to be in, losing a child to violence. But once you're in it, there's no getting out. But the people that are here are very supportive. They uplift each other, provide resources, an ear to listen to, and that's what we try to be for each other.
And there's so many strict guidelines before an Amber Alert is sent out. Do you believe that relaxing those rules could save lives?
Yeah, I think giving law enforcement the discretion to see what those circumstances are presented to them, and just because it might not fit the way that stringent curriculum is written now, and it gives them a little bit more leeway to make a decision saying that no, this isn't right. I think it will go a long way and help save a lot of lives.
Yeah. And time is really of the essence in these types of situations.
100%. Time is everything, and the sooner you can get it out, especially with children, the better. It's all about timing. It's about getting resources out there, getting the word out, spreading the word, and having all eyes looking on them, and trying to bring those tips in and bring that person home safely.
Yeah, and I know right now it's kind of up to Michigan State Police to determine if the child is in danger. Do you think that more of that should be on the parent or whoever knows the situation the best? Do you feel like they should be able to have some power in situations like these?
I think a big part of that is listening to the parents and what they're telling you. And they know the situation better than anybody else. And I'll say in Rowan's situation, because he was with his father, uh, there was a lot of things that were going on. So there was still abuse there that was going on, but it might not have been seen that way in the eyes of the law We don't really discuss power and control, coercive control. It's not a crime here in this country, but it's involved in every abuse case. And understanding those tactics and that separate post-separation abuse that they were experiencing really needs to be taken into account. And this is a pattern that is seen over and over again, and it's predictable. So when a loved one comes forth with a story like that, like they have to be listened to and really believed on what they're saying that this is a danger because time and time again, it's been proven that it can be fatal if it's not taken seriously and in a timely manner.
Yeah. So your advice to law enforcement is to be adamant listeners.
Yeah, really listen to what they're saying and considering these other factors that are coming into play. That coercive control, that power and control dynamics is huge. It is in every domestic abuse situation. And just because they might have a protection order or there's a divorce or a separation, that abuse doesn't end. It continues on. And oftentimes, these are the unfortunate results we see from it.
Yeah. And did I see that Gabby's case had inspired, I can't remember something act, and it was for um, adults, kind of like an alert for adults. I don't know if you had seen that. Uh,
Oh,
I think let's see, I was kind of doing some research here because it said Amber Alert not issued. However, her case did inspire the proposal of a new type of alert known as a teal alert aimed at helping locate missing adults age 18 to 64 who are believed to be in danger.
yeah, that inspired the Teal Alert they were trying to do in New York. Gabby's father, Joe, does a lot of our legislation, so I'm not sure where that is now. But it did inspire a lot of other like Billy's Law and stuff like that out of Florida for missing adults. So
Do you feel like there should be better alerts for adults?
yeah, I think looking at it, there should definitely be circumstances that require a certain alert, especially when they're in potential danger. Oftentimes, what we see is uh, legislators they don't want to do too many alerts because they feel like it kind of waters down the alerting system and kind of makes people a little lax to it because you keep getting so many. And I understand that part of it, but for those families, they want everything they can have at their disposal to help find them.
And then did I hear that you met with Brandy Poles and her family? Was that yesterday?
Yeah, we were on a Zoom, so we've been in communication back and forth. I had reached out to her, like I said in the beginning, just to try to offer some support and not knowing if she would see it, but she did see it not too long ago, and we've been communicating and talking. So we got on a Zoom yesterday, and we just had really a casual conversation. Just kind of asking. They were asking a lot of questions, advice and just different things, and asking about what to expect. We talked a little bit about the legislative process. I provided them some information. It's really just like an infogram on how an idea becomes a law, just so they can understand like what the steps are, and then just being someone to listen to their experiences and what they were going through, and support them in any way we can.
Yeah.
It's really important that I mean this is the 1 year anniversary. This is not a milestone that anybody should be celebrating in their child's life. They should be celebrating a lot better things, birthdays, which is coming up. But yeah, it was a good conversation and just telling them that we're there for them and sharing resources.
If Rowan's Act does pass, what would that mean to your family and other Michigan families who have gone through a similar situation?
I think it would be huge. It shows the progress and that these cases are taken seriously. And you never want a law named after you because it's typically after something bad, but it would be a great way to honor Rowan and to help save other lives.
Anything else specifically about Gabby's case that you would like to mention or even to get out there today?
No, I mean, the world really knows a lot of Gabby's story. The focus for this should really be about Brandy and Rowan and their family and what they're going through and really elevating their story. The only thing we ever ask is if it's possible at the end of the segment is making sure we get resources up on the screen for people, whether it's the National Domestic Violence Hotline, child abuse numbers, sexual abuse, anything like that that pertains to it. Because in that moment, somebody may see that broadcast and recognize similarities between what they're going through and maybe what Brandy and Rowan had experienced. And that might be a great opportunity for them to see those resources and get help.
Yeah. Well, Jim, thank you. So nice to meet you and nice meeting with you. Thank you for making the time today.
Absolutely. No, I appreciate it. Thank you.
I hope this bill passes.
Yeah,
It sounded like it's really gaining support from state lawmakers and everything too, so I think it's got a good chance.
yeah, and it involves children. So, it's a bipartisan issue. It affects everybody. It doesn't matter what your affiliation is, and it's about helping children. So we're kind of hoping that it continues on that track for them. It can be a bit of a lengthy and tedious process, but I have confidence that it'll get the support it needs and it's going to make a difference.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much. It was nice to meet you.